Maniacs, and welcome to the MooreDeals.com game of the week here at Rash Stadium. It's a city-county battle as Apollo comes in taking on the Owensboro Red Devils. I'm Stephen A. Turner, joined by Mr. Brandon Ward.
Gorilla style.
And this game, like every game, brought to you by the Don Moore Auto Team. To shop over 13 brands and 1,000 vehicles, visit MooreDeals.com to see the Moore advantage. Best value, transparent, and upfront. That's MooreDeals.com. You got two teams on two separate paths. Owensboro coming in with a 3-game winning streak. Apollo coming in with a 3-game losing streak after starting the season 4-0. And, Ward, what does Apollo need to do tonight here? They got the weather on their side, and to slow down this Red Devil offense.
They got to not make mistakes. That's what's cost them the games they've lost this year. We were talking about it on the show. They could very well be 7-0. You take 15 plays from this Apollo season and change them the way they happened to negative against Apollo and change them to where it was positive for Apollo. Apollo's sitting at 7-0 right now.
Yeah, very easily. A few bounces the ball away from being a 7-0 football team.
And it's mostly self-inflicted wounds.
And the bad news for them is that's 2 losses inside the district. This will be another district game. Tall task tonight as the Red Devils come in with a 3rd-ranked passing offense in the state of Kentucky, no matter what class. And if you told Devils fans that a year ago, they probably would have laughed at you. But this is a heck of an offense led by Will Warren, Monty Owsley, and Trey Green.
Will Warren looking to set some Owensboro Red Devil all-time passing records. And you know the rich story tradition here for Owensboro. He's trying to break some records. Anytime you can do that, you're doing big things.
On the other side, Apollo led by Mariano McKenzie, over 1,100 yards on the season, 14 touchdowns, 158 per game. They'll need a performance like that from Mr. McKenzie here tonight as Owensboro's getting set to kick it away. Apollo did win the toss. They elected to receive, and they've got Husk and Jeffrey Johnson deep, standing about the 10-yard line. And there's the kick heading towards the sidelines. Johnson's going to field it about the 9. Comes up across the 15 to the 20. Hit at the 23 and brought down immediately. Looked like led by big Austin Goff in there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 26 Austin Goff comes up and sticks Johnson on special team. He does it all, Austin Goff. 83 tackles, 18th in the state.
Also seen Cameron Thompson in there, number 23 for the Red Devils, made a nice hit and stayed wrapped up with them the entire time.
They're going to give Johnson the 21-yard line, and we're getting set here for the first offensive possession. Here comes Colby Clark leading the Eagles out. 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He's got an impressive completion percentage. Very good with the football. 68% of his passes complete this season. They're going to open up in the pistol. 2 wide receivers left. Jeffrey Johnson flanked out to the right. Handoff, had a hard time handling it, did Johnson, and McKenzie's met in the backfield for a 2-yard loss.
That was a great play by Colby Clark right there to prevent that being a turnover, a low snap. He picked it off the turf cleanly right there.
Looks like Diamond Glover back out there for the Owensboro Red Devils, number 51, unless there's a jersey change we didn't get the memo on. 2-yard loss on the play, led by Diamond Glovers. 2nd down and 12 from their own 19 now. Colby Clark in the shotgun. He's got heavy to the left side, and he's going to roll that direction. Sets his feet, looking to throw back across the field. Got a man out there, caught right at 1st down yardage.
Flag flies.
Husk makes the grab, or pick up about 14. We'll see what the flag is here.
Back at about the 20.
This will be the story of the game. Apollo was killing themselves last week with penalty flags and just bad special teams errors across the board.
Apollo's walking backwards. It's never a good sign.
Legal man downfield on the Eagles. Killer penalty. Once again, picking up right where they left off last week. Just can't have it. It was a great job by the offensive line. Gave Colby Clark a nice clean pocket, and he found the open receiver. But the offensive line that blocked so well got downfield. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 17.
Huge penalty against Apollo. That's what I said they could not do in this ball game, and right off the jump, a huge penalty sets them back. 2nd and 17 now.
Clark now rolling to his right this time. Fires out. Got a man out there. McKenzie caught 20 and slips and falls down right shy of the original line of scrimmage.
Credit Mother Nature in the rain for that tackle as he just lost his footing there. As we said, it was a downpour when we were walking up here. It looks like it's kind of settled down quite a bit from what it was. It was a downpour. There was people leaving the stadium when we were walking up.
Changing their mind. 3rd down and 12. Apollo backed up in their own territory. Clark's going to roll to his left this time. Fires back across his body to Parham. Well short of the 1st down. He dropped it. Saw that a lot last week, too. Several drops even if he catches that one, he's about 4 yards shy of the first down. And
credit number 20, Jordan Sorrells, right there, as he laid a pop in on Parham right as the ball got to Parham and made him drop the pass.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to need to see all night long on both sides with the slippery conditions out here. So Apollo backed up now to their own 19.
It's the first time I've seen
in the punting formation tonight. Strange for Nate Stewart back to punt for Apollo.
First time I've seen Owensboro. Their defense is fast.
The whole team. And a nice little punt there. Goes off the side of the foot. Now the return man picks it up and slips down about the 44. That's number 4, Tyron Hayden. And Owensboro will take over in their own territory right at the 46, near midfield. So a pretty good punt there.
Not bad.
From Stewart. Interesting to see if the Eagles are without Knott tonight. Looks like that may be Knott over on the sidelines on crutches, so that's news to us. Huge blow to the special teams game for Apollo. As Warren comes out, trips to the right, one wide receiver left. He's going to fire out to the right. Monty Owsley, nobody out there. Immediately met.
Nicely tackled by the first Apollo player. Unable to bring him down, though.
Still on his feet, though. Yeah, Monty Owsley showing the power. We know he's got the speed.
There was about, no exaggeration, 11 players all bundled up there, and the Powell continued to move. Monty Owsley, dynamite comes in small packages.
No doubt. Pickup of about 9 on the play there. It looked like it was going to be, like you said, defended well. Pickup of about 4, and then they got behind him, and Owsley drives the Powell. 2nd and 1 from inside Apollo territory.
Nobody on Owsley again.
Fires out. Owsley in the flat. Missed tackle there, and now brought down inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line.
Logan Weedman with a nice tackle there.
2 pickups of 8 yards. And if you're going to leave Monty Owsley wide open in the flats like that, you better make that initial stop or at least slow him down enough to where your teammates can come help. Apollo 0 for 2 in that department. 1st and 10, Owensboro from the Apollo 38-yard line. 2 wide receivers each way. Now Owsley going in motion, left to right. Going to fire it deep. He's got a man out there. Tinsley caught at the 10 and dropped.
Nice play made right there by number 6.
Will Barksdale.
Barksdale. Perfectly timed as his hand got right. He got there right as the ball dropped.
Yeah, Barksdale was beat badly by Trayvon Tinsley down the sidelines, but credit Barksdale. He stayed with it, caught up, and got his hand in there to knock the ball. And it's a slippery night tonight, obviously. Not as clean as you would imagine. It's 2nd and 10 now for Will Warren and company. 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left.
A little confusion on Owensboro's side.
Warren takes a snap. He's looking over the middle. Now comes back to Owsley, who's met, spins out of 2 tackles, and then is brought down as Stewart stays with it.
So do you get a point per reception in 3rd region fantasy? Because if you do, Monty Owsley's going to have a nice night.
Absolutely do.
He's already got 3 just from receptions. Nothing is your score. 9 minutes left here. First quarter. We'll also have Davis County versus Hendo score updates and all other local score updates brought to you by the Greater Owensboro Realty Scoreboard.
Huge game over there. And Apollo, Quentin Miller jumps offside. So 2 mistakes in a row for Apollo here, back-to-back possessions.
We heard David Clark say that Will Warren does one of the best snaps to try to get him off sides that he's ever heard, and that's what happened right there to Quentin Miller, and Quentin Miller was mad.
Yeah, he's upset with himself. He's trying to get that jump. He's going to keep it 3rd down, but it's going to be 3rd and 1 instead of 3rd and 6. 4 wide receivers for the Devils. Warren in the shotgun. Hands it to Green. Green is met by Miller, but it's a good pickup after a gain of about 4 on 3rd and 1. Takes it down to the 25-yard line.
Just so many options in this Red Devils playbook that wasn't there last year. It just keeps defenses guessing.
Yeah, you almost have to just contain them. I mean, you can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them. That's kind of what this offense is. And if you're Apollo, you just really hope for turnovers tonight. So Warren's got 2 wide receivers each way. Green in the backfield. Fakes the handoff to Green. He'll look to his left. Got Owsley out there and overthrown just a touch as Apollo's Thomas Ferguson came over in last-minute coverage. Almost got the interception down the sideline there.
Nice job done there by Owsley to become a defensive back, as that ball, like you said, might have been picked off by Apollo, but he just jumped up there and got a hand on it and knocked it out of play.
Owensboro just seems so methodical here. 8:19 to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless. First offensive possession for the Devils. Apollo went 3 and out as Green goes in motion to the right. Fires out. Almost got a hand on it. Green breaks through. Still on his feet. Driving forward towards the first down. And he'll have it. Pickup of 11 inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
We talk about the wingspan of Logan Weedman, and he almost got to that pass right there. I thought he did. The angle we're sitting at up here in the press box, it looked like he got a hand on it. He may have got a fingertip on it, but Warren threw it so hard that it didn't affect it. But he was almost there to knock that play away.
Apollo making Owensboro work, but Owensboro is cashing in the passing game thus far. Number 3 in the state for a reason. Warren takes snap, looking left into double coverage. Now fires back across the field. Caught, dropped in the end zone by Tinsley. As it looked like big number 81, Nathan Roberts, came up and knocked Tinsley down, and the ball came out.
We were talking about it on the way over here. Not just the rain itself. You got to think about the cold weather. People's muscles aren't going to be reacting. It was 90 yesterday. People aren't used to this weather, and we've seen quite a few drop passes already.
Yeah, it's a big shift in the weather from Wednesday to today. Owensboro going to go under center this time. He's got one wide receiver now, going to send Owsley in motion. It's going to be a sweep around the end. Owsley cuts it back across the middle and is met after a pickup of about 5 down to the 9-yard line.
Nice job done there by number 23, Nate Stewart, for Apollos. He came all the way from the opposite side and was able to get the first shot on Owsley that got him down.
Been impressed with the Apollo defense thus far.
Making Owensboro work for it.
Making them earn every inch here.
And if you do that, it gives you the opportunity to prevent or to create turnovers, especially with this weather condition.
3rd and 5 from 9. Warren under center again sends Owsley in motion. This time it's going to be a handoff to Goff up the middle, just grinding inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line. It's going to be just enough, I believe, for the first down on the initial spot. And it is.
Alston Goff, one of the leading tacklers in the entire state, looking for his 3rd straight touchdown on offense. Or 2 on offense, and then 1 he returned last week for an interception touchdown. So his 3rd straight game with a touchdown.
That's for sure.
Pretty good goal line back to have out there.
He's staying in right now as Warren goes under center. Owsley in motion. Going to go right side to Green. Cuts it back up the middle, and he goes in nearly untouched for the Red Devils touchdown. Methodical but well-oiled machine there on that first drive was Owensboro.
Nicely done right there. 6-0 is your score. 7:04 left in the first quarter. We talked about West not being out of the game potentially. What it hurts Apollo so bad, even more than field goals and extra points, is kicking off to this dangerous Red Devils team.
Oh, no question.
That's what we said. Apollo's had the biggest advantage from West, not just kicking it out of the end zone.
Yeah.
Now you're probably going to be kicking it to some of these dangerous Red Devils.
Great point. High snap, kick is up and good. Snap is down. Kick is up and good, and the Devils take a 7-0 lead with 7:04 remaining in the first quarter here on the MooreDeals.com Game of the Week, Homer's Radio Network. Welcome back here to Rash Stadium, 7-0 Devils. As Apollo took the opening kickoff, went 3 and out. They had picked up the first down, but a crucial illegal man downfield penalty ended that drive. And going into the game, my thoughts were, I wasn't on the Homer show this week. I didn't think that Apollo would be able to sustain drives versus Owensboro, and I didn't know how they would slow down this offense. And so far, that's been the case as the kick goes down to Johnson, to 10, across the 20, 21, and hit right there and stopped about the 21-yard line, 22 they'll give him. And Kobe Clark and company will get back to work. And I believe Clark and company may have to use the pass to set up the run. You get it against these speedy defenses that are talented. It can be very difficult to just hand the ball off to Mariano McKenzie and just let him grind it out. You're going to have to mix in the run and the pass, and I think Apollo's done that well the last well, not last week, but the week before versus Graves. Let's see if they can get back to that here tonight.
Got an update on the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard. A 30-yard pass from Skip Patterson highlights a 79-yard touchdown drive for Hendo. 6-0 first quarter. Hendo leads Davis County.
Crucial game there. Handoff goes to McKenzie off left side, and it's going to be bottled up. Gain of maybe 1. He's still on his feet, by the way. His forward progress has been stopped, but Owensboro stops the scrum after a pickup of 1.
That was a lot of work for 1 yard right there. Just be standing that long in that mass of humanity.
Yeah, you got the great defensive line. Diamond Glover, Greathouse and company have been phenomenal since that Owensboro Catholic game. They really have turned it around. And that's been the story for Owensboro. As Clark's going to go with the shotgun this time. He's got trips to the left. Jeffrey Johnson flanked out here to the right. McKenzie in the pistol behind him. And Clark's going to roll to his left. He's looking to fire out there. Cut off nicely by the Devils. Back across the field to Parham. He's got first down yardage right at it. It's going to be awfully close. I don't know. It's a good spot for Apollo because it looked like Parham was trying to turn his field up. And it looks like they may have gave him forward progress. We'll see. It's going to be awful close.
Nice tackle by Trayvon Green to make it close there. It looked like it was going to be a Apollo first down for sure. He made it questionable, but they do pick up the first down.
Yeah, initially they respotted the ball again after the initial spot and gave him the first down. So Apollo does pick up first down at the 32-yard line, 5:48 to go here in the first quarter, 7-0 Red Devils.
The most important thing is giving your defense a breather over there, as they were on the field quite a bit for that Red Devils touchdown drive.
Handoff's going to go to McKenzie off the right side, and the Devils not going to allow that to happen as they come up and stuff it again for a gain of about a yard.
Trayvon Green was once again in on that tackle. Other Red Devils joining them as this Red Devils defense is swarming right now.
No question. Sorrells and Goff and company and the linebackers just coming up. They're going to let Apollo have what they can take in the passing game, but they are not going to let the Mariano McKenzie get loose between tackles.
I think Owensboro Catholics had inarguably the best two linebackers the entire time we've been doing the homers. I think Owensboro has it now.
Yeah, they have great cores. There's a pitch out to McKenzie. Goes for about 4 off left side. Should make it 3rd down and 5 from the 42-yard line. Best pickup of the night for McKenzie on the ground, and that time got him off the edge. I don't know if they'll be able to do that all night long because the Devils not only have the power up front, but they also have the speed sideline to sideline. This is a huge 3rd down coming up. And I believe it's an official's timeout. See what we got here. In the meantime, you talked about the score over there, 7-0 already. Davis County's defense has to answer the bell at some point. If this team's ever going to do anything this season they were expected to do, the defense has got to stand up. And now,
got a
penalty flag on Diamond Glover because antics, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Not a good way to earn more playing time as he's trying to earn his way back in the playing row and gets out on the field and gets a penalty right off the jump.
Yeah, you could see he's not real good body language towards an official there as he's coming off the field. I'm not real sure what the delay was for. They told him to tuck his shirt in, okay, and now he comes off the field upset. But you can't act that way for sure. They'll get you for it every time. 15-yard penalty puts Apollo in business in Owensboro territory at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Clark hands it off to McKenzie up the middle. There he goes off right side, and Mariano McKenzie says he's going to keep grinding forward. 9-yard gain, maybe 10. It'll be close. 1st down, McKenzie.
Diamond Glover comes out from that position. They run right at it. Pick up a huge chunk right there for Apollo to pick up another 1st down.
Apollo in business now down to the Owensboro, 38-yard line. 1st and 10, and stay with it. Keep that balance. If you're Apollo, you got 2 wide receivers each way this time. Clark in the shotgun, McKenzie in the pistol. Takes a snap. Clark rolling to his left. Now cuts it back and slips and falls down. He had a lane to run through there, and he just couldn't keep his footing. It's going to be a huge loss there, about 6 yards on the play.
I do believe the score is just 6-0 Henderson.
Oh,
they must have missed the extra point because there's no update yet saying it's 7-0. It's just still 6.
It is one of those nights. Nasty rainstorm. Apollo just can't afford negative plays like that. They're starting to roll downhill a little bit, and then the turf monster came up. Is awful slick. We've already seen 2 or 3 guys slipped on both sides. Clark in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers right. He's rolling that way, and he's under heavy pressure. And now Austin Goff and company is going to get the sack on a massive loss all the way back to the 44-yard line of Apollo. There's a flag. You got to think it's holding on Apollo, just where the area where it came in. Didn't do any good as be declined there, and it's going to be 3rd down and a eternity for this Apollo offense. And we saw this last week versus Christian County. They would hit you with a couple positive plays and then penalties and sacks and just shooting themselves in the foot. And that time, Austin Goff led the charge and picked up another sack on the season.
Trying to go from our rookie of the year last year to defensive player of the year, or possibly even Heisman winner the way he's playing.
He's a monster. He's got his eyes on that October player of the month, I believe. Clark now gets Owensboro to jump off on the hard count. 3rd down and 28. We'll get 5 of them back here.
Why is Aaron Rodgers the only player in football in any level that gets a free play on that?
Gets a free play, yeah.
Not even Tom Brady, just Aaron Rodgers.
They got that snap down. He snapped it so fast you don't give him a chance to blow it dead. And then, of course, if Rodgers, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt.
I've also heard he makes sure to emphasize to the officials before the game start that
let me have that.
Clark
takes a snap. 3rd and long here. Ball is caught about the 42. Hit and knocked to the ground. A big-time hit on the left side. I believe it was Husk on the reception. Pickup of about – we'll give him 7 on it, down to the 41.
4-down territory for Apollo, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it looks like their offense is going to stay on the field. Still 3rd down and 13. I don't know about this. I think I might pin them deep. 4th down and
4th and 13. Apollo's offense still out there.
Wow, okay. They are going to keep their offense on the field.
We did mention their normal punter apparently out of the game, so maybe that has a little something to do with it as well. Let's see what they got for 13 yards here on 4th down.
Clark takes a snap. He's looking to his right. He's under pressure, going to step up in the pocket now, looking to fire back across the field to Johnson. Ball's off his hands and incomplete, as it would have been well shy of the 1st down anyway. If you're Apollo, you got to know where the sticks are. I mean, even if he catches that ball, you're well short.
Yeah, that was about an 8-yard pass right there. He would have need to make a couple moves to beat those 2 Red Devils defenders that was around him to pick up the extra 5 yards needed to pick up a 1st down.
So Owensboro will take possession in their own territory, about the 41-yard line.
I don't blame Apollo at all for going for it right there, though, because if you punt it, you could end up with a net of it getting returned into the end zone
for a touchdown.
Owensboro.
Yeah, exactly. With you said, not on the sidelines. Tough call there. His handoff's going to go to Green. He cuts it back to 50.
What a cut.
45. Missed tackles from Apollo galore, and there's a flag way back in the backfield. See what this call is here. Going to be holding on the Red Devils. It bails Apollo out because,
man, what a cut Green made to initiate. He looked like he was going to be tackled for about a 5-yard gain maybe, and he made a cut right there and ended up springing past 2 Apollo defenders and picked up another 20 yards, but is going to come back.
Yeah, it's a tough break for Owensboro. I mean, Trey Green's starting to get going. If they get the run game going, and with him, I'm telling you, this team come playoff time, I don't think anybody in the western part of the state is going to want to see Owensboro in the playoffs. It's 2 receivers each way for Will Warren. He takes a snap. He's looking to his right. He's rolling that direction. Fires out there over the head of Tyron Hayden. Gage Hayden in coverage.
Gage Hayden had him locked up right there. Great job done as Hayden just kind of gave up on that one.
Tyron Hayden and Gage Hayden. Battle of the Haydens there. 1:51 remaining in the first quarter, 7-0 Red Devils. This is the second possession for them. Apollo's had 2. One went into Owensboro territory aided by a penalty, but a couple of sacks from the Red Devils.
If you're Apollo right here, if you got any defensive plays that you like that gets home to the quarterback, you need to chalk them up right now because a turnover right here would be huge.
Yeah, it's a momentum change. I think Apollo will need a couple of those to come out on the better end of this one as Warren takes a snap. He's looking over the middle now to the right. Going to fire a deep ball out there. One-on-one coverage, jump ball, and Owensboro wins it.
What a catch.
At about the 36-yard line. I'm not sure what the Apollo DB was doing there as he kind of shot away from it.
Ben Flaherty attacked the ball at the highest point.
Absolutely. That's exactly, you hear it all the time. Peyton Peters-esque from last year as he goes up to the highest point and grabs it and makes the play.
Nicely done right there by Flaherty.
That's going to be a pickup of about 34. We'll give him 34 on it. And check my math if you want.
And as a quarterback, with your wide receiver going up making a play like that for you have so much more confidence for him. Snap back to Warren. Intercepted. There's that turnover.
Jumped the route. Did Apollo's number 81, Nathan Roberts, still on his feet.
Up to almost midfield.
Thrown down about the 44-yard line.
And there you go. You could just tell that Apollo was starting to be able to slow down and figure out a little bit with his Red Devils defense, and they just needed one play to get the momentum going.
Wow, after they were beaten on the long ball, Will Warren comes back with it again and kind of left it hanging up there just a little too long, and Nathan Roberts jumps the route. The good return, and Apollo's offense is in business now, 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. 1:20 to go here in the first quarter. A rainy night at Rash Stadium.
I'm trying to look up the lights and see if it's still – I don't think it's doing much.
Doesn't look like it's doing a whole lot. Maybe a light miss. Apollo's got trips to the right, going to hand it to McKenzie up the middle. He's got room off the left side. Cuts it at the 40, 35, 30. Ooh. Turns on the Jets, 25.
My goodness, he
down
hit the
to
speed burst.
10-yard line. A huge gain from Mariano McKenzie off left side, and give Apollo's offensive line credit. They opened up a massive hole there on the left side.
Hey, look at the Red Seas parted right there. You could have drove a truck through that hole that Mariano McKenzie ran through, and then it was a great job done by the Owensboro defender. I do believe it was Monty Owsley. It was the only one that was able to catch up to him and slow him down enough to get some other Red Devils over there for the tackle.
That's going to be a pickup of about 46 yards from McKenzie there.
Apollo coming out in shotgun.
They got 2 wide receivers right and a heavy formation over here to the left, extra tight end, and they're going to hand it to McKenzie, cuts it back, and he's going to pick up about 2, grinding it up the middle.
Tried to go with the misdirection there. Owensboro played that as well as you possibly could.
Yeah, it looked they were going heavy to the left side of the line. It looked like McKenzie was going to try to spring it out there and then cuts it inside, but Owensboro played it perfectly along the D line.
See Diamond Glover back out there for Owensboro.
It's back in the game. This time Apollo's going to go with Parham and Johnson out to the right. Clark takes a snap under heavy pressure, and he's sacked.
Speaking of Diamond Glover, it was Diamond that got the initial pressure that made him veer off and try to go away from Glover, and then it was finished off by
Greathouse. Greathouse has been a monster this year. One of the best games in that rights game that I've seen of any Owensboro player, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. Apollo just coming off a great drive there, but a huge sack will set them up 3rd down and about 20 when we come back here on the second quarter Homers Radio Network.
Looking for the best price? It shouldn't be scary to go shop. Who has the scariest costume?
More value price is the best price.
Treat yourself, moredeals.com.
Welcome back to Rash Stadium. Let's head to the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard.
Davis County puts up a touchdown versus Hendo, but Hendo answers with a touchdown of their own. 14-7 in the first quarter is your score. Hendo leads Davis County, and then one of our favorite games every year. Edmonson County 6, Hart County 7.
Tap them out in the dungeon one year. I know go sharpshooters down in Edmonson County. But right now it's 3rd down and I said 20, 3rd and 17 for Apollo right in front of us here now at the 18-yard line. As Clark takes the snap, going to hand it off to McKenzie. We're going right up the middle. He's grinding, still on his feet. Gets all the way back down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, about the original line of scrimmage.
Big-time run there. We'll give him 8 on it.
Man, he ran over a couple Red Devils on that one, too. We seen his speed burst earlier when they were there on the opposite side of the field. He ran over a couple Red Devils right there.
Very impressive performance so far in this game from our August player of the month, Mariano McKenzie. Apollo taking their time. They're going to have to hurry up. They're probably going to have to burn a timeout here. There's only 12 seconds. They haven't broke huddle yet.
They're just now coming out of huddle with 9 left on the play clock.
Very nonchalant. 6 seconds to go. 4th down, and they're going to take the ball. Owensboro may have been offsides there as Clark's rolling out to his right, and he is sacked on the outside. Looks like Grenier out there on the pressure. Number 44, Trace Grenier, brought him down for a loss of about 7 on the play. I thought Owensboro may have been in the neutral zone on the snap. It was close. Either way, Clark rolled right into the pressure there, and there was nothing doing for Apollo on 4th down.
Yeah, I think if you're the Apollo coaching staff, you got to call a timeout right there because Apollo was very discombobulated trying to figure out what they were going to do on a huge 4th down play. You got to call a timeout and make sure you got everything down.
No question. That's a killer, almost like a turnover inside the red zone at that point for Apollo, as Warren now takes over from his own 18-yard line and look to fire it out, and he's hit. Ball comes out and it's off the ground, but it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Quentin Miller. We got a flag late.
And Dalen Kennedy jumped that route, and if Warren lets that ball go, Dalen Kennedy's walking in for a pick 6. So good job by Warren to hold up on it as he tried to throw a little bubble screen.
Let's see what the flag's about. It came out well after the play.
They're pointing the way of the Apollo Eagles. We'll see. No penalty on the play. Ball was beyond the line of scrimmage was the call. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 now.
11:06 left to play, first half.
Delivered a massive shot to Will Warren there as well. It's something to monitor going forward. 2nd and 10, Devils. Warren takes the snap, immediately fires out of the backfield to Trey Green. This is what's going to be so tough to defend. He makes the first man miss, second man miss, but Apollo stacks it up fairly well. Still going to be a pickup of about 12 yards. We'll give him 13 on it for the Owensboro first down.
I think the way Apollo's having to tackle the Red Devils, it's setting up nicely for them to be able to pop that ball loose and get a couple fumbles, because they're not blowing the whistle as soon as they're wrapping these guys up. They're letting them play for a little while. So I'm definitely telling my guys on defense to start trying to knock that ball loose.
Yeah, you're right. The Piles are getting stood up.
Green was carrying it with one hand right there.
10:49 to go until half. Owensboro 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Handoff to Green. Met by Quentin Miller. And got his paws on him and brought him down. But Green's still going to be good for about a yard on the carry.
Reigning Apollo Eagle of the week, Quentin Miller.
So strong. And you see there, you're not going to see very many players in the state make that play on Trey Green. 2nd down and 9 now from the 32 for the Devils. 10:18 to go until half. Warren's in the shotgun, takes a snap. He's looking over the middle, going to fire out that way. He's got Owsley at the 45, and he's hit immediately, and he drives forward for about another 5 across midfield to about the Apollo 49-yard line. That'd be a nice little pickup on that one.
Cameron Baker, nice job done there to make sure he wrapped up Monty enough to slow him down to get the rest of the Eagles over there to tackle him. That's a job just in itself.
Yeah, it's an all-day task having to defend all these weapons for Owensboro. I think Apollo's done fairly well. Green's going to get the handoff, met in the backfield, but he's able to grind forward for a pickup of about 5. I thought, once again, another play where Weedman defends it perfectly, but just the agility of these Devils offensive players are really making it tough for Apollo.
Looked like Weedman was going to make the play for about a 3-yard loss on that run, and a nice move made to where he just cut it upfield just a little bit. Was able to pick up positive yardage.
Yeah, if you can't bring multiple hats to it, it's going to be difficult to one-on-one tackle these guys in space. You got trips out here to the right for Warren this time. Tinsley all alone to the left. Green in the backfield. So Warren checks the wristband, takes the snap, looking to the right side. He's going to run it, and he's going to be met in the backfield by Dalen Kennedy.
Spun out of bounds.
Maybe a gain or a loss of about 3.
That was an odd call. I don't know what he was going for there. He didn't like whatever he saw downfield, I guess. Him and Monty Owsley talking to each other.
Busted
it was a
play.
Busted play.
Warren loss of about 3 is going to make 3rd down, and a little tougher this time. 3rd down and 8 from the 47-yard line.
Big play right here in the ball game. Another momentum shift advantage opportunity for Apollo if they can get the Red Devils off the field here.
2 receivers each way. Warren takes the snap, looking over the middle, fires out there, and he's got a man. Hayden caught at the 20. He's got some daylight, one man to beat, and he's going to go down around the 2-yard line. I don't think he was going to dive into the end zone, but he fell just short inside the 5 down to about the 2.
I do believe it was Will Barksdale for Apollo that made a jumping, almost clotheslining attempt at the legs of Hayden, was able to bring him down just short of the end zone.
Tyron Hayden, just another weapon for these Devils. Apollo defended that pretty well across the board, and they just left Hayden running open through the middle there, and he did the rest with the wheels. 1st and goal from the 3.
Got the ultimate warrior in the backfield.
Man in motion, going to hand it off to Goff, and he's hitting the backfield, keeps it going forward. Flag comes down.
Flag flies.
But Apollo stacks it up nicely there on the goal line. See what the flag is here.
Looks like it's going to be holding.
Holding on the Devils would be rough, and it is. Another mistake for the Red Devils penalty-wise. I've seen one holding call wipe off a huge Trey Green run. That one is going to back them up in goal-to-go situation here.
With all the weapons Owensboro has, though, I'm not so sure it just doesn't offer more opportunity for them because it gives them more space to work with.
Maybe right in that situation. The passing offense spread you out and let the athletes go to work. That's what they're going to do here.
What they got going on right now.
8:07 to go until half. 2 wide receivers each way from the 14-yard line. Warren takes a snap. And be a jailbreak screen. The ball goes off the helmet of the offensive lineman. Just a busted play. And Apollo did a good job defending it. Quentin Miller and company coming in applying the pressure. Blew that play up.
Nicely done right there by the Apollo defense. Apollo defense has played very well this evening.
They have. Especially, you can think back to 3 weeks ago in Graves County. What a disaster. Almost 700 yards from Graves County in that ball game. And we saw them last week. I thought they played winning football a week ago versus Christian County. Just didn't get any help from their special teams or offense last week.
If they could have mixed the offense from Graves and the defense from Christian County, Apollo might be 7-0 right now.
Yeah, it'd be 7-0, and they would be. Okay, no penalty. Ball was behind the line of scrimmage. I think they were going to get Owensboro for a illegal touch because the ball did hit the lineman. But they pick it up behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be 2nd down and 14. Credit the officials doing a good job explaining what's going on tonight. It's 2 wide receivers each way. Warren takes snap, rolling to his right. Pressure out there again. He's going to fire to the corner of the end zone and well out of the back corner.
Closest player to that ball was Gage Hayden for Apollo.
Another flag on the play, though. See what this one is.
This is against Apollo. It's going to be huge. Can't commit fouls and extend these Red Devils drives.
No, especially when your defense is played clean down here inside the 5-yard line. It's going to get a goal against the Devils, it looks like.
Owensboro's walking backwards.
Quentin Miller clapping.
7-0 is your score. 7:51 to play in the second quarter. Owensboro leads Apollo.
Another holding penalty on the Devils. I'm assuming it was in the area of Quentin Miller because he was the one that was clapping. Backs them all the way up to the 24. It was 1st and goal from the 3-yard line for the Devils. And now it's 2nd goal from the 24s. Warren back to the shotgun. Low snap. Picks it up nicely.
Catch by Warren.
Fires over the middle. Wide open. Hayden couldn't
bad
reel
throw
it in.
by Warren. Behind him.
No, if the timing was off or what from the bad snap, but he had Hayden. That was the same play. It looked like that picked up the 40-something yards that got him down there.
Go the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard into the first quarter. Davis County 14, Hendo 20.
Wow, there's a barn burner over there, and that's for the home playoff game. A winner should get a home playoff game and probably would host J-Town, I'm assuming, in the first round of the playoffs. Is Warren, he's got pressure in his face, fires out. Monty Owsley dropped it.
He looked
he batted it
like
down.
He batted it down like a volleyball player.
Just
he spiked it over the net. I don't know what he was thinking right there.
Boy, the Devils shooting themselves in the foot here. Turnover on the last possession, then they get a big play down inside the 5, and they just go backwards. Bad pass by Warren to Hayden, and that one dropped. Not going to see that from Owsley. He was wide open. That would have been danger zone for Apollo.
That would have probably been a touchdown.
Yeah. 4th down and 24 coming up. 1st down and goal from the 24, I should say, with 7:41 to go. It's not often you're going to hear goal to go on 24-yard line.
That's where you like to have a kicker that can put 3 points on the board. And
Warren's got a man wide open. Hayden in the end zone. Wow. Caught. Touchdown. Owensboro on 4th and goal from the 24.
Defensive breakdown from Apollo. Played so well that entire drive, and the entire ball game so far allows the 2nd touchdown from
Unbelievable. I mean, he's ran wide open on that same play 4 times on this drive.
They're just matching him up with a safety, and he's getting by him with no problem whatsoever. He's leaving him in the dust.
And that was easy pitch and catch. Too easy on 4th and 24. Extra point is good. And the Devils take a 14-0 lead. Backbreaker right there if you're Apollo with 7:35 to go until the half here on the Homers Radio Network. Welcome back to Rash Stadium. 7:35 to go. Moredeals.com game of the week. City-County clash. Owensboro leads at 14-0, and just a serious breakdown there. As the Apollo defense played it so well up until that point, and then left Tyron Hayden running wide open. The kickoff will go to Johnson on the right side. He's up to about the 32-yard line before he's brought down. Apollo offense desperately will need some points here before half.
14-0 is your score. Owensboro leads. 7:30 left to play in the first half. Owensboro, I do believe, gets the ball back after half.
Yeah, they do. Apollo received the opening kickoff, and that's just demoralizing. Owensboro has a 1st and goal from the 3. You push them all the way back to the 24.
I don't know why
4th
everybody
and goal, and you leave a guy wide open across the middle. I mean,
I don't know why Apollo doesn't have everybody back on the fence just lined as a wall across the end zone, because they were 24 yards from the end zone, and it was 4th and goal.
Yeah, you just have to stop him from getting in the end zone there, as Apollo hands it off to Mariano McKenzie. Well defended this time. A pickup of about a yard for Mariano McKenzie.
I'm thinking Apollo's probably going to want to try to keep this ball the entire remainder of the first half and not allow Owensboro the opportunity to go put points up at the end of the first half and then get the ball right back whenever the third quarter starts.
Yeah, they were able to run the football pretty effectively on their last drive. It just ended with sacks. That's been the story last week and this week. The sacks have killed drives for Apollo as Clark takes snap, fires it out immediately to Parham, I believe, on the right side, and it's a good pickup of about.
I think that was Johnson.
Johnson on the right side. Yes, It was. Far side of the field was Jeffrey Johnson. We'll give him 6 on it. Jeffrey Johnson's came on strong after he was injured to start the season. We'll give him 6 as a pick. He's going to make it 3rd down and about 2 now.
I think Apollo's in 4-down territory already.
I think at this point, 14.
You got to be aggressive and pick up this 1st down, not let Owensboro get the ball back before half.
Absolutely, yeah. Another touchdown before half would be a backbreaker if you're the Eagles. Clark takes snap, going to hand it off to McKenzie. He's grinding, not going to get there. He's met in the backfield by Austin Goff. Loss of a yard on the play, and Goff blew it up the whole way there.
Textbook tackle as he wrapped him up and didn't let him go until he had him to the ground. Looks like Goff is either, I think he's fixing his shoe.
Yeah, his shoe may have came off there. Apollo's going to take a timeout. I want to talk about this 4th down and 4 they've got looking them in the face from their own 40-yard line.
Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard. Caraway adds a touchdown for McLean County. 27-0. 7:26 left in the 2nd quarter. McLean County rolling.
Cougars taking care of business versus the Butler County Bears, and that's where we'll be next week over at beautiful Paulson Stadium in McLean County as the Cougars will take on the Hancock County Hornets. And I don't know, if McLean County wins, they're going to host a playoff game. If Hancock County wins, we're going to have to get the Halloween candy back out and do the tiebreaker scenarios again, and nobody wants that, including me. It's giving me a migraine right now just thinking about it. So we'll see how it goes. Hancock County played Catholic very well last week.
Hancock plays that well against McLean County. Hancock's going to win.
Yeah, they have a good shot at it. Darian Clay leads the area in touchdowns, and he's a monster. Darian Clay for the Hornets, just a sophomore, and we'll see him for the next couple years grow into maybe one of the better players we've seen here on the Homers Radio Network.
And probably see Hancock growing into one of the better teams is that 8th grade team they got coming in. They're going to be freshmen this year, are nasty. And the guys that are making contributions right now for Hancock are freshmen and sophomores. So by the time those freshmen and sophomores are juniors and seniors, you better watch out.
Apollo's offense stays on the field, 4th and 4. Kobe Clark going to fire it out. Scott Johnson dropped it. Maybe a live ball there. Now they're going to blow it dead. I heard the whistles. But either way, it's Owensboro's football, the 40-yard line, and just not executing on offense as Apollo. Just same problems from last week carrying over into this ball game.
I think it was once again another odd call because had he made the catch, he was getting tackled 3 yards short of the first down.
He would have had one-on-one out there with the blocker. It would have been interesting.
These Owensboro defenders are quick.
No question.
That one-on-one with the blocker ends up 3 Owensboro Red Devils on you very quickly.
You're exactly right. They've been throwing short of the sticks all night. It's 1st and 10 for Will Warren inside Apollo territory. Going to fire over the middle. There it is, wide open again to Hayden, the 25, and he slipped and fell at the 25. But somebody might want to start defending number 4 for Owensboro because he is wide open on every play.
Go to the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard. Drew Hartz picks up a fumble, goes 4 yards for a Catholic touchdown. Aces 28-0 lead over Todd Central of 9:31 in the 2nd quarter.
Owensboro Catholic's a buzzsaw. Just have been that way since it got stung by Memorial. And since then, they've been unbeaten. Will Warren takes a snap. He's looking over the middle, fires, and it's intercepted. He threw it right to the linebacker.
Right to him.
I don't know what that was there. The ball was well underthrown. He had Hayden out there in the middle again, but the linebacker dropped a little deeper. Nate Stewart with the interception. 2nd one of the half for Owensboro.
That was directly at the Apollo defender. There wasn't even a Red Devil within 3 yards of the ball. I don't know what Warren saw or was thinking there, if the wide receiver ran the wrong route and he was just expecting him to be there, but there was no Red Devil within the vicinity whatsoever.
Owensboro does lead this 14-0, but I'll tell you, from an Owensboro standpoint, if you're Jay Fallon, you're not happy right now. You've had opportunities to put this game away, and a couple bad throws, some bad penalties.
You make those two
Hasn't
throws
been real clean.
You make those 2 throws versus Bowling Green, you're not leading 14-0.
No, you're not going to win the game. As the ball's thrown perfectly from Clark to Husk, and he can't haul it in. Hear that all the time in the NFL. You throw the wide receiver open, it would have been good for about 17 yards, and Husk dropped it.
I liked what Clark was thinking there. Is he, like you said, he had to throw it to where only his guy could get it, and he did a nice job of doing so. That's quite a few times now that Clark's had his wide receivers drop balls on him.
That's 3 tonight that I know of. And in the receiver's defense, it is wet tonight, no question. We've seen Owensboro drop a few of them too. 2nd down and 10. If you're going to win this game, though, if you're going to even compete, you're going to have to start reeling those in. 2 wide receivers each way. McKenzie in the pistol. Clark firing. Caught and dropped as he's hit immediately by Monty Owsley was Sam Parham. And great defense there from Owsley.
You like to see somebody known for their offensive game like Monty is jump up after that play and be as hype as he is about a good defensive play.
No question. He put the lick on Parham that time. And I say drop. That was more of a great defensive play.
That was knocked loose.
I'm not catching that ball anyway. 3rd down and 10 now. 2 incomplete balls on this drive. Receivers have had their hands on them.
5:45 left to play, first half. 14-0, Devils lead.
Big 3rd down. Clark takes a snap. He's under pressure. Going to roll out of it. Fires across the middle. Intercepted by Trey Green. Just underthrew it there. Green still on his feet inside the 20. And he's going to be driven out of bounds
Flag
at about
comes
the
flying.
7-yard line. Yeah, flag maybe a block in the back.
Block in the back would be what I'd speculate.
In that area. And while Clark made 2 great throws there on 1st and 2nd down, that one was – he had a man wide open in Parham out there, and he underthrew it. And Trey Green made him pay. We'll see what the call is here.
That's 2 turnovers they've created on the Red Devils offense and haven't been able to put any points on the board because of it.
Block in the back on Goff.
It's going to be a big penalty the way they're walking back right now.
Yeah, take it from inside the 10-yard line back to about 30. The 29, 30-yard line. 5:33 to go before half. First Apollo turnover of the game. It feels like they've had a couple, just some mistakes with penalties, but that one intercepted by Trey Green. His trips to the right for Warren. Going to hand it off to Trey Green. Going to reward him for his efforts defensively. He's still on his feet inside the 10 to the 5 and then brought down.
He wants that touchdown.
Nice run there from Trey Green as he's tippy-toeing all the way down the field. He tippy-toed for about 25 on that one. Down to the 5-yard line. We'll give him 23 on the run. And Trey Green is the guy that, doesn't really get talked about enough from people that watch this Red Devils offense. I feel like he's the guy that can really make them unstoppable. Get that in the offensive line as well. So they're going to go under center here. 1st and goal from the 6 as Warren fakes the handoff. Going to look back to the corner. Hayden's open and do it behind him. What a route from Tyron Hayden there as he left DBs in the dust. And then Warren threw it behind him. I don't know if it was a miscommunication. Look, Warren was throwing to the back corner. Hayden was coming back to the middle of the field. But it's a beautifully designed play there. Just poorly executed. 2nd down and goal from the 6 now for the Devils.
Looks like they got Gage Hayden out there on Hayden this time.
Hayden
on Hayden.
Going to be a handoff to Owsley, driving forward, and he's met immediately. Great job by the Apollo defensive line.
I think that was Green.
Green, it was Green. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and goal from the 5.
It's hard to tell which it is, Owsley or Green, because they're both lightning in a bottle.
They are, yeah. I mean, Green is almost as quick as Owsley is. Got those quick feet.
Ultimate Warrior in the backfield again.
5, and fake the handoff, going to fire it out to the flat. Block, and it's going to be in the end zone. Tyron Hayden on a nice block out there. Couldn't catch the Devil. I believe it was maybe number 75 for Owensboro blocking.
Yeah, it was 75.
On the outside. Carson Brooks out there sprung it because the ball was caught short of the end zone and got the block and in from 5 yards out. 20-0 Owensboro.
And if you're Apollo, you guys got to be thinking that you've turned this team over on offense twice already and still have no points on the board. They've gotten close, too, which is very demoralizing. Extra point is up. Extra point is good. 21-0, 4:29 left.
Welcome back to Rash Stadium. 4:29 to go until the half. As we said, they just wanted to milk this thing down when they had their last possession. Since then, we had two separate Owensboro possessions. That one ends in a touchdown. 21-0 is your score, and still plenty of time on the clock here. So Apollo's offense has got to get to work. They're shooting themselves in the foot, drop passes, and penalties all night long as Jeffrey Johnson crosses the 20. Now cuts it outside. He's not going to be able to get much out there as the Devils too quick. Up to about the 26-yard line. That's where Kobe Clark will take over for Apollo.
If you're Apollo, you definitely want to get some points on the board here before half, and more importantly, just hold on to the ball. Don't allow Owensboro to get the ball back before halftime.
I've liked the design of the offensive plays, the rollout that Clark's had where he rolls out, defense gets to him, but he's able to cut it back to the middle and then fire down the field. It's been there all night long. It's just Apollo hasn't been able to cash in on it. We've had illegal man downfield, drop passes, holding penalties. It hasn't been clean, and that's what Apollo's needed to compete in this one. It's 2 wide receivers each way for Clark. McKenzie in the pistol. They're going to hand it to McKenzie, and he just shoestrings. I believe a penalty flag came in.
It landed on Daniel Boone's face mask. Almost went inside of it.
They're going to get Apollo there on the offensive line. Looks like another penalty. Another mistake. Erases a 5-yard gain from McKenzie that time. And that will back Apollo up to the 7th. This one's getting ugly pretty quick here.
And it makes it more likely that Owensboro may get this ball back before halftime.
Clock is running here at 4:05. The Devils have not played their best football, still winning 21-0. I feel like Apollo's had several chances. Defense has played pretty well and kept them in it. But
it should be 21-14 right now. Should be the score.
Apollo just can't cash in. As Clark's under pressure, he's going to be sacked. A ton of Devils led by Greathouse comes in to finish the job, and that's going to back Apollo all the way up to about the 12-yard line. And sacks galore.
Looks like we're going to have to see the backup punter for Apollo before long here. Wes not, like we said, apparently injured.
Owensboro takes a timeout.
Trying to conserve this time.
We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, and it's going to be 2nd down and forever for Apollo here on the Homers Radio Network. Welcome back here to Rash Stadium. 3:39 to go until second half. Apollo in a timeout, and now the downpour. He's talked about the rain had stopped, but it is pouring down rain now here at Rash Stadium.
Apollo would have liked to seen this rain about an hour ago when the game started.
Just keep it going, I think. Apollo, you think ground attack. And Owensboro, of course, the number 3 passing offense in the state. They've been successful putting it in the air tonight. Trips to the right for Kobe Clark, and he's going to look that way. He's rolling that direction. Now he's under pressure, and he's going to be sacked by Brooks inside the 5-yard line. Ball's out.
Ball might be loose.
And I believe Owensboro has it. See.
I don't see a touchdown signal.
They're blowing it dead, it looks like to me. The official's calling him down at the 8-yard line, but that's about 6, I think. I haven't been writing them down, but I believe that's number 6 for the Devils.
Carson Brooks with another sack.
Brooks is a beast.
This defense for Owensboro is having fun out there right now. You can see
pinning their ears back and just letting it all hang out, and they know what Apollo has to do, and they're coming to get him. Apollo's trying to roll Kobe Clark out of the pocket, but the offensive line's not holding up. I mean, to be honest, on the edges, Owensboro's defensive line dominating on the edges, and we saw that last week with Christian County. It killed Apollo. Multiple sacks given up last week as well. And 3rd down and 29 coming up from Apollo.
Third down, and let's get it out of the shadow of our own goalpost.
Yeah, it's a handoff to Mariano McKenzie coming up here. You're inside the 10-yard line, back at the 7, it looks like.
Coach Hawkins is a gambler. He might go play action here. Just try to get some kind of spark.
21-0 is your score. Apollo's defense, I feel like, has played pretty well versus high-powered Owensboro offense. Just when you can't sustain drives, it's not going to be a good look. As Clark takes the snap, he's going to punt it away on third down and shanked it out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Try to do a little.
Try to go Randall Cunningham on him.
Yeah, Randall Cunningham punt on third down. And the rain is driving, but Owensboro will take over right at the 23-yard line. So not much in the way of net gain from Apollo there, about 13-yard net on that punt.
Isaiah Easley scores his third touchdown of the half on a 29-yard run on 4th and 1. Henderson leads 28-14 after Logan Green's 2-point conversion is good. 6:10 left in the half. Davis County trails Hendo 28-14.
Warren fires it out to Owsley in the flat. Dalen Kennedy read it pretty well, but forced maybe the overthrow of Owsley incomplete.
Owensboro gets in the end zone here, gets the ball back after half. You can see a running clock situation very quickly if you're the Eagles in a game that you should technically be down by 7 points in right now.
Apollo was playing it pretty evenly until they gave up the 4th and goal from the 24, and then since then it's like they just broke their backs, broke their wheel a little bit.
That's demoralizing.
And no doubt it is. Warren's in the shotgun. He's under pressure, fires it out, got a man out there. It's
Flag flies.
Pinsley, and I believe we'll get maybe a block in the back on Owensboro. No illegal man downfield out there. You can see him out there. That's going to back Owensboro up. Just not a clean game from the Devils tonight either. The offense is just so explosive. They're able to overcome their mistakes. Apollo's offense needs to continue to roll downfield. Anytime they get behind the chains, they're in big trouble. Owensboro can go 4th and 24 and pick it up with this explosive passing offense. It's going to negate about a 7-yard gain there and back them up to the 29-yard line.
So about a 12-yard penalty overall.
Overall, yeah. Got Owensboro down for 6 penalties here in the first half.
Coach Fallon out on the field trying to get an explanation of something.
Now we're ready. 3:07 to go before half. Warren has got 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Fires out. Hayden wide open.
Wide open again.
Nobody's over there. Nobody defends him. He walks in for the touchdown. That's pitch and catch.
There was nobody
in the street right there.
Yeah, there was
nobody within 10 yards of him.
That was just pitch and catch. Like you said, he had no defender to worry about hitting him when he made the catch or anything. He just walks right into the end zone, and it's not like that's the first time that's happened.
Yeah, breakdowns across the board. I mean, there is so many guys to defend out there for Apollo. When you put 5 wide, everybody's got to do their job, and somebody missed their assignment again on Hayden that time. There's the snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. And just like that, 28-0 Devils. Still 3 minutes and 2 seconds left here before the half. We'll be right back here on the Homers Radio Network. Welcome back to Rash Stadium, 3:02 to go. I feel like we've had 7 minutes to go in this half for the last hour and a half here at Rash Stadium, and Owensboro's put the damage on. 28-0 is your score, and Tyron Hayden is having a night tonight. 3 touchdowns here in the first half, 24, 5 yards out, and that time 29 yards out. The kick will be short this time. Paul's got to come up and field it, and they do at the 30. Still on his feet, and now knocked down as the Devils do a great job defending it. Apollo's offense try to get something going here. Down 4 touchdowns with 2:57 to go until half.
It was Gage Hayden that made the catch there. It was a great job done, as that was a nicely timed kick. The Devils got there about the same time that ball did. He was able to hold on to it.
Those are the most dangerous things I see watching high school games. Those chip shot kickoffs, and it's going to get somebody hurt. I mean,
I can't believe they're still allowed in football.
They're talking about NFL trying to make their rules to make them less dangerous. That's the most dangerous play I see week in and week out.
That rule and the no running clock rule in Indiana.
Oh, absolutely.
About the 2 dumbest I've seen.
There's trips to the right, one wide receiver left. Handoff's going to go to McKenzie up the middle. Apollo's just trying to get the half at this point. McKenzie taking off his feet and driven down. Is pickup of about 2 on the game.
This Red Devil defense, like I said, they're having fun. They're flying around out there. It's going to be hard to find anything. If you're the Apollo Eagles, I would just be trying to get this game to halftime. 2:37 left to play in the first half. 28-0 is your score. Owensboro leading Apollo.
We were just under the 8-minute mark. Owensboro had it 4th and goal from the 24. 7-0 lead. And since then, a touchdown flurry from Owensboro, and Apollo is just self-destructed. Clarkson, the shotgun, going to take the snap. He's looking to his right, going to fire out there. Incomplete. Just miscommunication. It's not pretty right now for Apollo. As Parham ran an inside route, and Kobe Clark thought he was going outside.
Clark's also feeling the heat from the Red Devils defense as he's starting to release the ball earlier than he needs to, as he's just been under pressure constantly in this ball game.
That'll make you do it. No question. You've been sacked 6 times and a half. You're going to start to get the quick trigger, no doubt. It's 3rd down and 7 for Apollo, and Owensboro's looking to get the ball back here before half. 2:10 remaining. Plenty of time for this Red Devils offense, especially to go with that slant to Tyron Hayden. And there's a pitch out to McKenzie. He's trying to string it out. He's not going to have anywhere to go. It's going to be a gain of maybe a yard or 2 on 3rd and 7. And Apollo will be forced to punt.
And Owensboro's going to get it back with plenty of time. Just over 2 minutes left to play in the second quarter.
I say they'll be forced to punt. Looks like Apollo's offense may stay on the field. It's a timeout, Owensboro, with 2:03 to go. We'll take a really quick break and be right back here on the Homers Radio Network. Welcome back here to Rash Stadium. I've said it 100 times, I feel like, in the last 20 minutes or so. 2:03 to go here in the half, and Apollo will bring the punting unit on. I was wondering if they might go for it. Offense stayed out there for some time. Looks maybe a fake. They got a man in motion. It is a fake. Going to run it straight up the middle, and they're going to be short. I just don't understand. Don't understand the play call.
Just
I mean, it's just flat out. It's
just a good way to give Owensboro less of a field to have to cover.
If you're going to go for it, leave your offense on the field. Instead, you run a direct snap and run it right up the middle, right into a gang. You can't even fool Owensboro because you're running right into their strength, their defensive line.
To Apollo's side of thinking, they did get about only one. They were 1 yard short of picking up that first down.
Yeah, they were just a little shy. And of course, like you say.
But I would much rather have Mariano McKenzie carrying that.
No doubt. And no West Knott tonight, so maybe that factors into the decision as well. But Owensboro, nevertheless, takes over 1st and 10 from the Apollo 39-yard line. 2 wide receivers each way for Warren, looking to put the dagger, and the dagger is not in already. He's looking to put it in now. Owsley met immediately, makes the first man miss. Second man misses off to the races. Driving forward inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line.
He's got so much speed once the defenders catch up to him to make the tackle. He gets another 4 yards with just the amount of speed that he has going once he gets taken off his feet.
Yeah, if you don't get at least slow him down enough to let help come on that initial stop, you're in big trouble. 1:46 to go for the Devils in the hurry
and it
up.
Looks like Hayden is still going to be lined up in the same exact formation. It's had all the success. They're looking right at him once again.
Bracketed coverage out there.
There he is.
Fire into the corner of the end zone. He's got Gage Hayden out there that time. And they're going to get a flag on the play. But they're going to get Gage Hayden for pass interference.
I didn't see that.
That's a rough call on Gage Hayden over there in the corner. Look at great coverage. As that time, instead of running the post pattern on the inside, he went out to the
I thought Hayden was going to cut inside because there was nobody there again.
And it's going to be a 15-yard penalty assessed to Gage Hayden. I didn't see it. I thought it was pretty good coverage there, one-on-one on the outside. One of the best corners for our money.
Yeah, I didn't see a whol lot of interference there. It didn't really. It looked like the ball was almost closer to Gage than it was to Kenyon.
1:31 remaining. Owensboro will have it 1st and 10 from the 10. Be 1st and goal from right at the 10-yard line, so long down in distance. as Warren's going to go under center, looking to throw a jump ball. He's got Gage Hayden out there in the coverage again. That time it's overthrown.
Gage Hayden does a perfect job there, just running the receiver right out of the end zone.
Kind of ran the route for him, and really nowhere to go if you're Warren there.
I thought that's what he did last play.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Other than the Owensboro receiver jumped and left his feet, I guess that might have been the contact. Might have drew the flag.
First and goal, or second goal from the 10. Warren's going to go under center again. This is a formation we've seen quite a bit tonight. He's going to fake the pitch to Monty. He's going to look back across the middle. He's under pressure this time. He's going to be hit from behind. He's able to escape. Driving forward and down. Pick up of maybe 2 on the play from Warren.
Talon Safried hit him initially and then knocked him into Quentin Miller, who finished off the tackle for Apollo.
You saw several Eagles trying to strip. You said it, strip that ball out of there. Everybody's reaching in there trying to get it out.
That's the way to do it whenever it's wet and rainy like it is right now.
Apollo defense trying to stand up here. Under a minute to go, 53 seconds to go. Warren goes back to the shotgun from the 9-yard line, takes a snap. It's under pressure again, fires to Owsley in the flat. Parham wraps him up, misses the tackle, and then Apollo's able to come up and wrap him up about the 5.
Gage Hayden wraps him up.
Down. Gage
Hayden took a little bit of anger from that pass interference call right there on that tackle.
Absolutely. Give Parham credit, though. He's able to hold Owsley long enough to let the help come.
That's what you got to do.
That's the only way you can do it.
It's the only way you can slow him down enough for anybody else to have an opportunity to catch him.
4th and goal now. Devils take the snap, looking corner of the end zone. He's got Green wide open. He dropped it. Good. He walks in for a touchdown. He can't haul it in.
He was thinking about his touchdown dance before he got in the end zone and dropped that one. He was wide open.
Paul defended everybody well in the end zone, but forgot about Green. There's so many guys. I mean, it's easy to see how you can leave somebody running open in this offense. There's just so many guys to defend.
12:18 left in the half.
And I believe
12.8 left in the half.
28-0 Devils, but the Apollo defense is able to stand up.
I'm just kneeing this one and going to the house.
No question. I think they're eager to get to the half.
I think with the weather, that's probably going to be the way a lot of the fans here at Rash Stadium go as well. I don't think there'll be a lot that's going to sit through halftime.
The longest 7 minutes. I think it may be the longest 7 minutes in Homer's Radio history on the game clock. Will finally come to a merciful end of Owensboro 28, Apollo 0. We'll be right back with the Greater Owensboro Realty halftime show here on the Homer's Radio Network.
Snap, kicks up, it's good! It's good works in football, but when you're shopping price, you want the best. And that's More Value Price. No stumbling, no fumbling. Take it to the house with moredeals.com.
Team that we have, we want to be a different sports bar. My name is Larry Clark. I'm the general manager here at Legend Sports Bar and Grill. The main thing that we want to do was to have a sports bar more upscale. You know, we offer steaks, we offer salmon, different seafoods, calamari. So just a different environment for people to come to and enjoy the game. We offer the opportunity for people to come in with larger parties, make reservations. We have our back room, semi-private party room. You know, if they want to do their fantasy league picks or whatever during the season, it's a good time to bring in, large parties and just sit back and enjoy the game. We're just different in the fact that we offer a few more things that normal sports bars don't. Please come and join us here at Legend Sports Bar and Grill, located in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Welcome back to Rash Stadium on the campus of Owensboro High School for the moredeals.com Game of the Week halftime show presented to you by Darrell Vanover. Greater Owensboro Realty, 28-0 Owensboro with the lead. I'm David Clark hopping in for Brandon Ward as he takes a little bit of a break. Stephen A. Turner has some unofficial stats for us.
Very, very unofficial, but let's go ahead and get to it really quick. First for the Owensboro Red Devils, Will Warren, I got him down 15 of 27, 256, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's the one thing you look at if you're looking at any kind of negative for Owensboro, the interceptions, the turnovers, and the penalties. But, man, Warren's been red hot to Tyron Hayden. That little post pattern over the middle's been open all night long. 5 receptions for 118, 3 touchdowns for Hayden in that first half. He was the dagger. You go back, the score's 28-0, and the game's completely out of hand at this point. But you just go back to 7.5 minutes to go until half. Apollo's defense has played great. I feel like they've hung in. 7-0. They forced Owensboro's first and goal from the 3.
Yeah.
They forced Owensboro Owensboro into a 4th and goal from the 24 and give up a wide open touchdown over the middle, 14-0 Devils.
Yeah.
And since then, it has been a collapse for Apollo.
You got to get a stop in that situation if you're Apollo. Yeah, obviously, that was aided by 2 holding penalties on Owensboro that backed that up. But 4th and 20, there's no. Well, I could sit there and fluff it and say this or that and make an excuse, but you can't let them score a touchdown on 4th and 20. And I like what Brandon Ward said during the broadcast. Make a wall at the end zone. Put all your. It doesn't matter if they catch the ball at the 10 or the 5. Wall it off at the end zone and make Warren throw it to the end zone with the extra defenders there to do something. I'm over there running the camera, and you guys can check that out sometime this weekend at our Homers Radio YouTube. But I kept looking over at you and just saying 4, 4, 4. And you can see the formation with Apollo staying one high on the defense there with the one safety playing in the middle. All Tyron Hayden has to do is run a post. If he gets by him, it's wide open, and Owensboro's been able to exploit that. But for Apollo, there's been some opportunities tonight. Obviously, that 4th down, you got to get that stop there. But when Apollo was able to get it all the way down into red zone, Apollo really needed to cash that check. Mariano McKenzie's big run got him down. I believe it was the 7.
Yeah, waited deep.
And you got it. And you got it. If you're Apollo right there, I mean, you're talking about potentially it being a 7-7 ball game at that point. And then I think you're looking at a completely different game right now. Instead, it's 28-0. On the other side of that, if you're Owensboro, you're just looking at all the meat that's left on the plate.
Yeah, and if you're Owensboro, you got your eyes. Not only, of course, you got it on this game. It's a huge game. You want revenge after Apollo beat you last year, obviously,
right?
And you want to come out here and prove a point. But you also have your eyes on getting better every week until you get in those tough. I mean, you talk about playoff games. Used to just be you look forward to the Bowling Green game.
Right.
Well, now in the second round, you're going to have South Warren or Bowling Green, and you're going to have to go beat one of the other ones. More than likely,
you have to beat both of them.
You have to beat them both.
You have to beat them both
in back-to-back weeks. So to do that, you're going to have to play a lot cleaner football than they have tonight. A lot of penalties, erasing big plays, a couple very bad interceptions, to be frank. I mean, you're going in you're deep in Apollo territory, and the ball is just not in the area of the receiver.
Will's got to take better care of the football.
Absolutely. You can't turn it over. You can't commit penalties, and that's what's killed them in those Bowling Green games every year. That's why the streak is what it is, because Owensboro, I feel like talent-wise, we've said it ourselves watching the game. Bowling Green's not that much more talented than Owensboro, that they've had that such a long winning streak. It's Owensboro shoots himself in the foot in those games.
A lot of times, and I feel like that, offensively, that Owensboro scheme-wise needed to play a certain way in order for them to be able to play with the Purples. Now, with the new offense, the wide-open system, I think they can match explosiveness for explosiveness. Like you said, the key for Owensboro right now is just cutting down the mistakes. No team's going to play a perfect game. No team's going to play a completely mistake-free game. But you got to cut it down to the point to where it doesn't affect the outcome of the game. And I feel like right now, Owensboro, even last week against Christian County, we talked about it last Monday, every Monday, 7 p.m. right here on the Homers Radio Network, live from the BFF studio. And just honestly, man, you got to eliminate those mistakes to beat Bowling Green, to beat South Warren. Against Christian County, they left a lot of points on the board. Tonight, there's a lot of points left out there on the field. Good news for Owensboro is they get the ball after halftime. We'll see if they can score, get the clock running. If you're Apollo, on the other hand, the season has flipped completely from just 3 or 4 weeks ago. And we talked about it on the show this past week as well. You're looking at about 10 plays.
Yeah, that could be 7-0.
It could be 7-0.
And you look at tonight's game. If you take just a handful of plays, Apollo goes in for a couple scores, and then they don't give up the 4th down and 24. Their defense loses. I feel like their defense lost a lot of pride there, and they hurt their defense. It's 28-0, but their offense is responsible for probably 2 of those touchdowns. I mean, they had them backed up deep. They fake punt, no good. Then Kobe Clark punts it on 3rd down from inside his own 5. So you gift wrap Owensboro 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Your defense did stand up there before half. Apollo's defense playing very well, and I know it's 28-0, but they have played it well, I feel like, in this ball game. And they turned that around. Credit the coaching staff for turning it around, because just 700 yards versus Graves. I thought they played good last week and good this week. The offense has been the problem. No points. I don't care how good your defense plays. You don't win if you can't score. So Apollo's got to figure that out pretty quick here. Identity crisis. They want to run the football. They want to throw the football. And I don't think they've really figured that out yet. Let's go ahead and really quick go to the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard. Just looking around the area, some interesting scores. Henderson County 34, Davis County 14. And another situation.
No Landon Newman. He's out, out for the year with the ACL.
But I feel like every year, here we are again talking about Davis County
34 to 14?
That's what I had.
21. 34-21 at the half. Yeah.
So they battled back 34-21. So Davis County. But it's a game we look to every year. Like if they can just get over that Henderson hump, and here they are again struggling versus the Colonels. They haven't beat them since I think in 8 years or something. And it's killing them. They're going to have to go on the road in the playoffs, and if they lose that game over there, unless they mount a second half comeback. So they need to get that going. No question over there. And then another one that really caught my eye: Grayson County 28, Greenwood 7. How about that? That's for the 3rd seed in that South Warren Bowling Green district, which is interest here because if Owensboro gets that 1 seed, which a win here tonight would almost do it for them, then they would play the loser of that game, Greenwood and Grayson. So
looking like maybe Greenwood.
Looking like Greenwood, not Grayson. Me and what we're talking about, we kind of wanted to see maybe the Cougars come in here to Rash. We never want them to lose, obviously, on the road tonight at Greenwood with 28-7 lead. Owensboro Catholic 35, Todd 7. Owensboro Catholic in line for their 73rd straight district title tonight.
All the way back to the
horse and buggy days, I believe.
JFK administration.
Yeah, I think when they used to wear the leather helmets is the last time Owensboro Catholic did not win that district, and they're going to do it again. And they're a buzzsaw right now. Very interesting to see them as they roll towards the playoffs. Not a whole lot of tough tests standing between them and Mayfield, to be honest with you.
I think that's what. Yeah.
I mean, you got South Warren sticking out like a sore thumb there in the last game of the season, but
you just want to get through that one injury free.
No question.
I think that's the big thing.
No question. And Heritage Hills 42, South Spencer 0 is interested in that one. Playoffs start next week over in Indiana. And then McLean County 42, Butler County 0. The Cougars handling their business, which sets us up for next week's big game of the week, courtesy of the Don Moore Auto team over at Paulson Stadium, McLean and Hancock County, which if McLean wins it, they'll get the home playoff game.
A couple other scores of local interest. Covington Catholic did beat Highlands 21-14. Good game up there in Northern Kentucky. That's one of the top few teams, big teams there in Class 5A. Owensboro fans would take note of that.
And
I didn't
think
also
anybody could even challenge Covington Catholic.
Highlands did tonight.
Interesting.
And also Bowling Green, the Purples, take one on the chin to number 12 nationally ranked Indianapolis Warren Central, 62-14.
I was wondering just how far that gap was between those national teams and the teams like Bowling Green, and now
there's the gap.
Kind of got my idea now. That's a man's team up there in Indianapolis. That'll do it for the moredeals.com halftime show here with 12 seconds to go and put some more time back on the clock. We'll run a few more commercials and come back with the second half. It's Owensboro 28, Apollo 0 here on the Homers Radio Network. Welcome back here to Rash Stadium. About to get this second half underway as the rain has gone from maybe a drizzle to start the game to nothing, and then to a pouring down rain, and now it seems like it's coming down just a little out there, but it's calmed down just a touch. Either way, it's slippery conditions, slippery football tonight. Seen a couple turnovers on both sides, some guys slipping and falling down, balls dropped. It's affected the game a little bit, but at the end of the day, the Red Devils have cashed in when they needed to, and they lead at 28-0 over Apollo.
A lot of the fans decided to go home at halftime. I do believe that the stands are pretty empty, especially on the Apollo side now.
Oh, and we got a update from Henderson County. A Henderson official blew the whistle on a pick six from Markwell Tinsley. Blew it dead.
We said you'd trail by at least 10 points going to Hendo. That's why.
Oh, that's big time there, because that was a score. 34-21. That could have cut it to a one-score game there. Tough. Like you said, I've been a part of some of those games over there. Those guys on the deck behind the visiting bleachers giving you down the road.
It can't even be speculation when it happens every time.
No, it's just fact at that point. So Apollo's going to kick off here to open the second half deep to Owensboro. This is dangerous here. The ball's going to go in the corner, and it's going to take a Apollo bounce into the end zone. What a great kick there by number 23, Nate Stewart, in relief of Wes Knott. Linebacker there, getting it done with a nice Apollo bounce. You didn't want to see, if you're a Apollo fan, you definitely didn't want to see Trey Green on the return there. Owensboro will take possession to open the second half, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. see this Apollo defense go back to work, see if they can continue to make Owensboro earn it, or if it's just going to go the way of the Devils here in the second half. As handoff, ball's on the ground, and Will Warren is able to get back on it. It's Trey Green and Will Warren just miscommunication there. Just not a clean handoff, and it's hard to see, and don't want to put the blame on either one of them. It looks like it's obviously a wet football.
And cold.
Yeah, and very cold. It's going to be a loss of 6 on the play. All the way back to the 16-yard line. Will Warren, 14 I should say, fires out, and let's see if give him the catch there. And they will, up near the 20. Back near the original line of scrimmage.
Trayvon Tinsley, I do believe, was the Red Devil that made the catch there. Nicely done. I thought it was going to skip off the ground before he could get to it.
3rd down and 11 coming up from their own 19-yard line.
They've scored on 4th and 24. So
this is a big down for Apollo. I feel like just for your pride here, just try to get the Owensboro on the 3-and-out to open the second half. Under pressure, Warren's going to be a screen to Owsley. 20, 25, 30. Look out. Cuts it back at the 35, 40, 50, and he's gone. Lights out Monty Owsley to the house on an 81-yard screen pass. Touchdown.
The human cheat code. That's just not even fair. He'll make a play that should be 5 yards positive, end up going to the house for 6 like he did right there. There's just you can't teach that in practice. That's just God-gifted talent right there.
I think Apollo really played it just how you would.
It was perfectly played.
Just how you would. He came right at him, tried to get him to bounce to the sidelines, and he did. But just Owsley just outran everybody that was out there.
He had that speed burst button, and it wasn't even close. Wasn't even within 8 yards of anybody by the time he got to the end zone.
Couldn't have got a 10-foot pole near him. Owensboro's going to try to get the clock running here. 34. Ball's on the ground. Picked up, now fumbled again, and not going to get it there. 34-0 will remain your score. 10:40 to go here in the third quarter on the Homers Radio Network. Welcome back to Rash Stadium. 34-0. Apollo just couldn't get off the field once again on 3rd down and long. Owsley was the story. 81-yard screen pass for the score as Jeffrey Johnson on the return crosses the 20 to the 30 up to the 32-yard line. The Devils sideline fired up.
Scott Cox, number 36, lays the wood on that shot.
You've seen the Owensboro special teams flying around, their whole defense, special teams, whatever it may be, flying around all over the field tonight. Big-time hits, and Apollo will take over 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Needing a score to stay out of the running clock danger zone with 10:33 to go. They were able to prevent the 2-point conversion to get it running. But this Apollo offense has been anemic. I didn't even get to their stats at halftime because frankly, there's not very many. McKenzie's been the highlight, 12 carries, 75 yards, mostly on that one big gain of 46. Clark in the shotgun, going to hand it to McKenzie going off left side. It's going to be a pickup of about 3. Nice blocking up front, but it closed down pretty quick. The Owensboro linebackers are so good. The offensive line can win the battle, and the linebackers from Owensboro are still going to be quick enough to come up and clean it up.
Usually when you see linebackers that fast, they don't have the ability to bring the pop that the linebackers from Owensboro do. But, man, whenever they hit you, they get you to the ground.
Goff is an absolute man out there.
Sorrells as well.
Yeah, it's across the board. It's so good. I've seen some defensive changes as the years gone on for Owensboro, and it's really worked for them. 2nd down and a long 7 coming up as Clark takes a snap. He's under pressure immediately. Now fires over the middle. Caught by Gage Hayden, trying to spin forward and driven backwards by Goff. That's a man-on-man there. 110% versus 110%.
Going to be about a yard short of the 1st down, I do believe.
Yeah, we'll give him 6 on it.
3rd and 2 on this one. Going to go ahead and say Apollo's in 4-down territory the rest of the way.
No question, yeah. You just let it all hang out from here on out. 3rd and 2. We'll see what they go with here. His trips will be to the right. They'll have Crabtree, the lone receiver, to the left.
Devils showing pressure.
Almost got him to jump. No snap, can hand it off. And
Sam Parham with the carry.
Parham will go nowhere. Maybe he lost yardage. And the Red Devils had it snuffed out from the get-go.
Yeah, it looked like they knew that play was coming as every defender was lining up exactly where Parham was trying to go.
I believe believe it was number 84 for the Devils, Greathouse. It was in there as he almost jumped off sides, corrected himself, and then blew the play up. So here you go. Offense stays on the field. 4th down and 2 with 8:40 to go here in the third. Apollo just trying to keep their head just above water. Need a first down here. Clark going to fire out. He's got Crabtree for the first down. Crabtree still on his feet, pushing forward towards midfield. It's going to be good for a pickup of about 7.
Apollo stays on the field, able to move the chains.
If you're Apollo, you just got to take this second half, and you got to figure out how you're going to let these next couple games go, because your whole season comes down to, you know, Marshall County next week and then Davis County. You just prepare yourself for the playoffs. Anything can happen. I know there'll be serious underdogs on the road in the first round, but this is a talented Apollo team. And just as I say that, Diamond Glover comes through and sacks Kobe Clark. 7th sack of the night for the Owensboro Red Devil defense. Going to be a loss of about 7 all the way back to the 40-yard line. And Diamond Glover has been a man beast in there tonight, much like he was a year ago in this matchup. Kobe Clark was able to escape the sack and throw the game-winning touchdown, but Glover was a monster.
Go to Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard. Sam Harrington, 1-yard fumble recovery in the end zone. Williams runs for 2. Catholic 43-7, running clock over Todd County.
And there the Aces will continue to the dominance in the district. Sorrells drives Crabtree out of bounds after a pickup of about 4 on the play. Apollo with the short passing game. Tried to push the ball down the field a little bit more there in the first half with the passing game. Wasn't there. Just the pressure from Owensboro. Drop passes in the rain. It just didn't work. 5 wide receivers now. Poor Kobe Clark. He takes the snap. Looking over the middle. He's under pressure again. Spins out of one and collected by the other, number 25 on the stop for the Red Devils, Jaden Kendall. With a big-time hit and another sack for this Owensboro defense. 8 on the night. I believe now you'll see the Apollo punting unit come on. Not a lot of plays in the playbook for 4th down and 18. And that's going to bring out Nate Stewart.
Had a heck of a kick to start the second half.
He's punted it pretty well tonight. It's been a strength for Apollo, the kicking game, not in the field goal department, the punting department. High snap. He goes up and gets it.
Nice kick, and it's going end over end to where if it rolls, it's going to roll.
Owensboro picks it up on the run. He slips and falls. I believe it was Hayden.
But did you see the strides of that young man right there? He made 2 steps and went 14 yards.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, I think he did only take 2 steps in 15 yards. He gets it all the way up to about the 39-yard line. That's where Will Warren and company will take over, looking to get the clock moving with the score. 34-0 is the lead. Boy, since Apollo, they racked up 600 yards and 40-some points versus Graves County. Have just been anemic offensively. Last week versus Christian County, were sacked multiple times. Tonight, 8 sacks for Owensboro. It's just stalled the drives of the Eagles as the handoff's going to go to Green, met by Quentin Miller. And Miller will just set him down on the ground.
We talked about it going into the season, how Apollo was going to be able to recover from losing their 2 biggest playmakers in the offseason due to graduation, Nick Brooks and Peyton Peters, and they haven't found an answer. Whenever they're able to keep the games close and be able to use Mariano McKenzie, they're able to be in those games and win those games. But once they have a team that can score quickly, they just can't keep up with those teams. Yes. They don't have anybody to look at.
Hasn't been there in the passing game. They never really got it figured out. Has got a little officials timeout as Trey Green lost his shoe.
Run that quick, you run out of them frequently.
We're going to have Green. Now he's going to come all the way over here and match up 5 wide receivers, no backs in the backfield for Will Warren. on 2nd and 8. Warren looking down the seam, not going to fire to Monty Owsley. Caught, cuts it back across the middle, and it's going to be good for a first down. Owsley still powering forward across the 45 to the 44-yard line. A solid pickup there of about 15 yards from Monty Owsley.
Looks like Davis County tried an onside kick to start the second half versus Hendo. Hendo recovers. Your score is 34-21. Hendo leads Davis County in a huge game for home field playoffs.
On the road tonight, and Davis County's got to stand up. It's a game we've been, like I say, it's frustrating for us because we look to it every year. This is the year, and Davis County just can't get over the hump. Like to see him out at Reed Stadium week 1 of the playoffs. There's a deep ball. He's got Tinsley wide open, caught at the 10, touchdown. As Barksdale released to a safety that wasn't there. I don't know what the miscommunication was there. I don't know where they were going with that one, but another breakdown in coverage, and Will Warren with a beautiful throw to Trayvon Tinsley for the touchdown, 44 yards.
We talked about the Apollo offense trying to recover from losing Peyton Peters and Nick Brooks the majority of their passing game. The Apollo defense is struggling keeping up with Owensboro's passing game right now as they're doing whatever they want and they're finding guys open and running down the field free at will.
Too many weapons. I mean, it's just so many guys. There's a botched snap on the extra point. Parham will come up and take
nice hustle and literally just snatches the football out of the grasp of Owensboro.
He's going to get the clock running now. 40-0 is your score. 4:37 to go here in the third on the Homers Radio Network. And we're back. 40-0 Owensboro here. It's been all Red Devils in this one. They have put 40 on the board, and quite frankly, could have been a little bit more. Apollo's defense came with a couple big turnovers in the red zone. If you look at it from the Apollo perspective, they think they could be a little closer, but offensively, they just not done anything tonight.
For the first quarter and a half, it was very competitive. You look at it was a 7-0 ball game with Owensboro 4th and 24, and they ended up putting it in the end zone, and since then, it's just been all downhill for the Red Devils.
As Johnson's going to take that. He's got the sidelines. Nice move there. 30 up to the 40, 45, and knocked down at the 42. The Owensboro bench erupts. Good job by Coach Fallon to come over. And
number 92, Grayson McFarland, with a heck of an effort there. I think that's what pumped up his teammates. I do believe there's some backups in right now, and he made a nice tackle.
Well, you see Owensboro fired up. They remember this. I knew they would remember last year. Owensboro had Apollo beat.
It's hard to forget that Peyton Peters catch.
Peters goes up and makes an unbelievable play to upset Owensboro in the last second of that ball game. And Owensboro, remember, those kids that were here, on that sideline last year, they absolutely remember, and they're taking this one personal tonight. 40-0, they lead. Apollo's going to look to get something going. A lot of backups in across the board. We'll see. Still got some starters out there. I see Goff out there. Clark's going to step up in the pocket. Doesn't matter. Same result as he's sacked for a loss of about 2. 9 sacks tonight for Owensboro.
That was number 25, Jaden Kendall, I do believe.
It'll be 2nd down and 12 with 3:20 remaining in the third quarter. Clock will not stop the rest of the way. It's just been a nightmare for Apollo's offensive line. The last 2 weeks been pass protection. It's been non-existent. She got 3 wide receivers to the left, Jeffrey Johnson to the right. Clark takes the snap. Fires incomplete off the hands of Gage Hayden. Threw a little bit behind him. And you can't help but think that Kobe Clark had one eye on that defensive lineman there with a nice spin move. Greathouse on the outside. It was blocked well, but I think he's just used to being under pressure and let that go a little too soon there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 12 for the Eagles, who will be on the road next week in Marshall County. I know they'll be home, final home game of the season versus Marshall County next week. Owensboro gets Graves County next week, and with the win would clinch the district title for the Devils. Keep them here for the first 2 weeks of the playoffs. It's 3rd down and 12. Clark takes the snap, fires back across the middle, incomplete, threw it behind Gage Hayden, and pressure again from Owen. I don't think I've seen a snap since the first quarter that Kobe Clark wasn't running for his life. Just no chance.
Apollo offensive line definitely more comfortable run blocking. See they excel in that. They're struggling with the speed and power of this Owensboro defense trying to pass or trying to blocked for passing.
I believe that's big Jacob Hunt out there, 83 maybe. Sales.
See number 2, Wimsett, down there loosening up for Owensboro. Might see the backup quarterback for the second consecutive week.
I believe you will see some Gavin Wimsett coming into the ball game. The electric freshman. Ball snaps on the ground on 4th and 12. Clark picks it up, rolling to his right. Stops, fires back across the middle behind the receiver. Incomplete.
Austin Goff, he just touches you. He just kind of put a shoulder on Johnson there, and Johnson went 12 yards the opposite direction.
And that's going to be a turnover on downs as the clock winds to the end of the third quarter. And I believe we might see Mr. Wimsett coming on the field here for this Devils offense. Some of the stars will remain.
Yeah, Will Warren's walking on the sideline.
Yeah, he's done for the night. Will Warren, spectacular ball game. Approached 400 yards. I'll have to do the math on it. He had 256.
Clean up those 2 interceptions.
Yeah, just head scratchers. There's a handoff off the right side. Go for about a yard.
Not seeing any updates from the Davis County game. All the other games are pretty much running clock.
Yeah.
Catholic's going to win. McLean, both had running clocks going. Hancock off, who will see McLean County take on Hancock in another
Can't wait for that
big game for playoff home field advantage next week right here on the Homers Radio Network, brought to you by moredeals.com.
Wimsett shotgun, going to hand it off in the backfield. Met for no gain, loss of about 3 yards. Apollo's defensive starters remain in the game. Be a good test for these young men. That's going to do it for the third quarter. Owensboro will take a 40-0 lead to the final frame here on the Homers Radio Network.
Looking for the best price? It shouldn't be scary to go shop. Who has the scariest costume?
More value price is the best price.
Treat yourself, moredeals.com.
Welcome back here to the moredeals.com game of the week. It's 40-0 Owensboro Red Devils salting this thing away as Gavin Wimsett, freshman QB in the ball game, staring at 3rd down and 12. He's got 2 wide receivers each way. See what they go with here. Let the young man throw it around a little bit. He's got a good look to him. Fires incomplete off the hands of the intended target. Good throw, but incomplete.
Go to Owensboro Realty scoreboard. 21-6. Hart County leading Edmondson County. The battle at the dungeon.
Revenge of the Hart Foundation. Getting revenge on the sharpshooters tonight. It's an interesting inner Hart family battle there, I think. Always look forward to that one every year.
Like when Owen and Brett fought at WrestleMania.
It's very much, yeah, or maybe SummerSlam with British Bulldog and
Will Warren not completely checked out of the game because he's punting for the Red Devils.
And a beautiful kick, too, down inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 8. Great job there. 11-11. Clock still runs here. Be sure to remind everybody to visit, or listen, I should say listen in Monday night at 7 o'clock. Right here on the Mixler app as the Homer Show, live from the B.F. Evans studio this week. Welcome them in to the fold and be live from, it's still in Parts Unknown, make no mistake, but we do have a sponsor for our Parts Unknown studio, B.F. Evans, on board. And we'll have a brand new Shelbyville Entire Top 10, review this week's action, give away some players of the week, and get ready for next week's games and get you all set for Hancock County and McLean. I can't wait. I've been looking forward to that game since, mid-July. We've been talking about how that's
since
probably going to
year.
be for a home playoff game. And you get a little something on the line next week, and it should be a great ball game.
2 of our favorite fan bases to cover as well.
It's going to be fun. There's a handoff off the right side for Apollo.
Parm slips. Mother Nature with another tackle. I think that's about 6 on the game for her.
Yeah, it's been a rainy, nasty night. Parm good for about 7.
Mother Nature trying to win the Red Devil of the Week award for the Red Devils. All the tackles she's making on Apollo.
It might be hard to beat Tyron Hayden.
I don't think she's coming up a little short.
5 catches, 118, 3 touchdowns, and a half of work for Tyron Hayden. He was the difference maker. He put the nail in the coffin tonight for Owensboro as Clark's still in the game on 2nd down and 3. Handed off up the middle. It'll be a short game, just enough for a first down. for Apollo, approaching their own 20-yard line after a great punt from Will Warren.
Number 32, Andrew Thomas with the tackle for the Red Devils on that one. Great tackling by the Red Devils all night. As they're wrapping up the offensive player and making sure that they either take them to the ground or slow them down enough to get teammates over there to help them.
Talk about giving coaching staffs credit. I think there's not enough superlatives you could give to the Owensboro defensive staff and head coach Jay Fallon for the adjustments they've made since that Catholic game. As Clark airs that one out, overthrown, but they were abused, flat out wore down in the second half by Owensboro Catholic's offense, and Vaughn Williams took them to the shed. And you thought, man, what's going on with this Owensboro defense? And dominated a little bit in this ball game, and then they come right back versus Bowling Green, straighten everything out. And since then, it's been great performances one after the next from Owensboro. Hats off to the staff for getting the kids in the right spot.
You got to credit them at the beginning of the season for switching the offense.
Oh, yeah.
They saw that it wasn't working last year, and look what the offense is doing this year.
Yeah, we said that on the way over here. I said, if you had told me that Owensboro had the number 3 passing offense in the state of any level, 6A, 5A, whatever, number 3 overall passing offense in the state this time last year, I probably would have laughed at you.
Had they been running the offense they're running last year tonight, it could very well be a 21-14 ball game. Because you keep Mariano McKenzie in the ball game that way whenever you don't explode for points.
Up a lot better that way. You're exactly right. Apollo's looking at a 3rd down and 10 now. Struggling to get their offense going even against backups here. Fake handoff. Apollo does have some backups in there as well, as I believe that's
backup quarterback in. Wearing number 10.
Yeah,
it's like Brandon Alexander back out there.
Levinsky on the carry, gets it up near 1st down yardage.
6 foot tall sophomore for the Eagles. Probably be the one that's taking over for Mr. Clark next year.
Yeah, he's got good size to him. Heard Dave Clark give good reviews of Levinsky at the quarterback spot. And we'll see him. We'll see him next year. He'll be taking over. And you can't say enough about Kobe Clark, a heart of a champion. He took over for Brandon Alexander.
A lot of drops from his receivers tonight that cost Apollo.
And he was constantly under pressure. He had no chance tonight. This handoff's going to go up the middle. It's going to be close to an Apollo 1st down.
Marvin Ramirez with the carry for Apollo.
And we'll see.
Looks like the
Apollo defense looks like they're coming back on the field.
Offense for Owensboro coming on.
6:50 remains as the clock continues to run. Be sure and keep it locked to all our social media outlets for updates on the Davis County-Henderson game. Right now, Colonels look like they're in the driver's seat. If they were to hold on, Davis County loses, they'll lose that home playoff game. They'll go on the road, which probably will be Louisville-Ballard, is where the Davis County Panthers will probably go week 1 of the playoffs, which is still a winnable game. There is a silver lining in a loss tonight, even though no one wants to see that. The silver lining would be a win versus Ballard, which is a winnable game on the road. Week 2, you get McCracken County instead of having to play Louisville Trinity in week 2 on the other side of the bracket. So there is somewhat of a silver lining there for the Panthers, even though you never want to lose to Henderson. And it's still a possibility for a Davis County playoff run.
Go to Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard. A 38-yard pass from Joey Cambron to Marquell Tinsley cuts Henderson's lead to 41-28 with 6:47 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Not so fast, and it's still 6
that
minutes
offense,
to go in the 3rd.
They're never out of it.
Wimpson airs it out, and no receivers out there.
No, the receiver didn't even bother going.
Never ran the route. Gage Hayden almost picked it off. Not really on Wimpson. He was just on a go route there, and the receiver didn't go.
Well, he had some nice arm strength there. It was put on a line right to the end zone from about the 40.
Wimpson's the real deal. This kid, I've seen him play a little bit last year. He's got great size, just a freshman. He's going to be starting as a sophomore next year, and we'll get to see plenty of him.
So he's got good speed as well.
He's under pressure this time and brought down. Sacked in the backfield. I believe
Talon Safford.
He's had a pretty good game tonight for Apollo.
Cade Kroom was in there as well. Number 51.
Still some starters running in and out for Apollo as we see Dalen Kennedy coming out.
Gage Hayden's about the only one I see right now.
Gage Hayden, Quentin Miller out there.
Quentin Miller probably refuses to come out of the game.
He ain't coming out. No, this kid, he lost too much time last year. He's got to get it back this year. Swims it. 3rd and forever. Fires out in the flat. Caught. And will be bottled up and brought out took out of bounds about the 35. 5-yard line.
Stevenson on the catch. Sound like an NXT wrestler.
Lance Stevenson? It is almost NBA time. Got 4th down and forever coming up for the Devils. 4:16 to go in this one.
Offense remains on the field for the Devils.
Rough second half. As far as excitement goes, and Owensboro really put the game away in the mid parts of that second quarter.
Gage Hayden checks out for Apollo, as does Miller.
On 4th down and 19. Wimps at 2 wide receivers each way. He takes a snap. He's looking left, going to fire out there into double coverage, and it's intercepted. So he laid it up in the air and picked off by Ferguson, I do believe.
Thomas Ferguson with the interception there, number 20, goes up and gets it.
About the 6-yard line.
That's why you want these reps right now when you got a running clock.
No question.
It's a lot easier to fix those problems once you've experienced it on field in game situations than just watching some other guy play on tape.
And he laid the ball up there in double coverage. He threw the ball up and tried to let his receiver make a play. The problem was he was outnumbered 2-1. Even a great throw there into double coverage is going to get picked off most of the time.
It looked like to me he made the decision of who he was going to throw to before the snap happened.
Yeah. Didn't do much reading there, and that's what you're going to get. And that's what these varsity, like you said, varsity snaps so important. I think a lot of folks from around the area could take note in playing their JV players at this point in the game. 1st and 10 for Apollo. Levinsky can't handle the snap, and he's going to have to get down on it right at 1-yard line, maybe 2. And it's pouring down rain still. It's just a miserable night here at Rash Stadium.
Take it to the Greater Owensboro Realty scoreboard. Miserable night for Butler County as McLean County wins 42-6. They got the momentum rolling, heading into their big matchup this week against Hancock live on the Homers Radio Network, courtesy of Don Moore.
We'll have shrimp next week. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, we have hot, if it's cold like it is tonight, I may have hot apple cider. I think I've burned my mouth on some hot apple cider over there a few times. And there's no telling what McLean County will have in store next week. I can't wait to get over there, and then I know they'll have in store some great football on the moredeals.com game of the week.
Coming out of their own end zone.
I have to struggle to not get a safety there. They do. They push it up forward for about a yard. 1:59 remains in this one. Apollo will go senior night, I believe, next week versus Marshall. Chance to get to the 5-win mark, which would give them a 500 regular season, assure them of that, and then they'll have a Davis County in a game we'll do the last week of the season.
I think it's the 3rd annual Davis County Apollo.
Those are always fun. I mean, there's no doubt. Both teams, no matter wins or losses, don't care what the records are, they're laying it all on the line as their #1 rival. This year it'll be at Reed Stadium. It's 3rd down and 13. Levinsky's going to fire it out. Caught along the sidelines, and Apollo driving forward towards the first down. Be a pickup of about 8. We're approaching the 1-minute mark. Going to bring it 4th down and about 3. Let's see what Apollo elects to do here.
I'm trying to see who made that catch. It was a big guy out there. Made the catch for Apollo.
Yeah, it looked all the way on the other end of the field.
It looked like 85, John Lynn, and he's listed at 6'3", so I'm going to go ahead and say it was him.
Yeah. John Lynn, a sophomore. Good size out there. Good sophomore class for the Apollo Eagles. Linsky takes a snap, going to fire, same play, and Lynn can't haul that one in. Dropped it. And Devils will take over.
Flag flies. Might be some frustration from the Apollo side as it's over there right in the Apollo team huddle.
Yeah.
Never seen a flag go in the team huddle.
Clock's not going to stop, so that's going to do it for the ball game. It's going to run all the way down. And the Owensboro Red Devils stay red hot. They win this one 40-0. We'll be right back to wrap it up here on the Homers Radio Network.
Looking for the best price? It shouldn't be scary to go shop. Who has the scariest costume?
More value price is the best price.
Treat yourself, moredeals.com.
Welcome back here to Rash Stadium. I almost said Reed Stadium. Rash Stadium on Frederick Street.
Because you're looking for that Davis County score.
Devils fans will get after me. 40-0 Owensboro win. Only really stats I really need here is Will Warren. Big-time ball game. He had 256 and 3 touchdowns at halftime. I got him for 405 and 5 touchdowns. He threw 2 there in the second half to get the clock running. And Monty Owsley, Mr. Electric, took an 81-yarder to the house there in the second half. And Trayvon Tinsley, also a 44-yarder. So overall, Will Warren goes over the 400-yard mark. 5 touchdowns. Did throw the 2 interceptions. For my money player of the game, Tyron Hayden. 5 catches, 118, 3 touchdowns. None bigger than the backbreaker on 4th and 24 that really turned this entire game around. So Apollo, they're going to get off the field. Almost right at 1st and goal from the 3, up 7-0 with about 8 minutes to go in that first half. And then backed up by penalties. It's 4th and 24. Warren hits Tyron Hayden to steal the soul of the Apollo defense. It was all downhill from there. Apollo offense couldn't get out of their own way, set up 2 short fields, and Owensboro ends up taking a 28-0 lead into the half, where Will Warren put it away in the second half with Monty Owsley, which I say Will Warren. Will Warren basically just threw the ball about 5 yards out to Monty Owsley. He did the rest, 81 yards.
And then all the touchdowns to Hayden was pretty much just pitch and catch. There was nobody within 3 or 4 yards of the kid.
Great scheme from the Devils. They'll roll on to Graves County next week. They end their season versus Henderson. So 2 pretty tough tests for the Devils as they get ready to roll into playoff time. They can clinch the district next week. Apollo, Marshall County next week. They'll close it out in the game we'll do versus Davis County coming up here in a couple weeks. But that'll about wrap it up. Be sure and join us Monday night, 7 p.m. Homer Show from the BF Evans studio. We'll be there live Monday night. Get you a brand new top 10 players of the week and give you all our predictions for next week's game. We'll be over at Paulson Stadium for the moredeals.com game of the week next week.
A lot of cowbell going on.
A lot of cowbell and a lot of stingers will be out as the Hornets will be rolling into McLean County for a big 2A battle, which should determine home field advantage in the playoffs. I can't imagine McLean County with the home playoff game in the playoffs going to be crazy. We saw what happened last year when Hancock hosted. They won, and they rolled on to the second round of the playoffs.
Cowbell 1-11 if McLean County are hosting the playoff game.
I'd say that's a pretty good idea where we'll be week 1 of the playoffs if McLean or Hancock is able to host a home playoff game. But that'll wrap it up from here. For Dave Clark over here killing it with the camera, this makeshift setup, just awesome over here on the YouTube. Be sure and pick that up midweek. Brandon Ward killing on the color commentary as always. I'm Stephen A. Turner. Everybody have a lovely weekend. It's got to get better than this monsoon we're having here tonight. Good night.
Go with us now.